What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the first episode in our coverage of Space Pirates and Zombies 2. This one bounced across my desk this week, and I've been really excited about covering it, but hadn't quite had the time to record anything just yet. I played around with the tutorial and got myself situated with the game and decided that it was go time. We're doing this right now. It's late night. It's like 1 in the morning. It doesn't even matter, though, because I'm stoked about video games right now, and that's all that it takes for me to throw a series together here. If you never played the first game, basically, it was a hilarious game. I count it as a humor game more than anything else, but it was a top-down spacefaring sandbox in which you took a mothership and you had to harvest ore and do all kinds of stuff while the entire galaxy was being slowly infected by zombies, and then in the end, you had to square off against them. It was a really, really funny game, though. Like, the dialogue was absolutely top-notch. This game was made by, like, 2 or 3 guys, like, no joke, and they funded it using the proceeds from the first game. I've been really excited about playing it, so let's get started. I gotta make myself a new profile. Change profile. We're gonna make a new one. This one's name is going to be Comrade Wiggles. Yeah, that looks good. And then we gotta choose the color of our spotchy ship. Let's go with something. I'm gonna go with something baller. Let's go with something like, yeah, like a hunter green. Get something dark up. Oh, that's looking pretty good right there. We're doing the green and gold today. We're doing the green and gold today. It's gonna be baller. It's gonna look so good. Okay, like not green and green. Like, that's actually pretty good right there. That's more or less what I was aiming for. I think it looks solid. Our ship kind of looks like Mjolnir. I'm a little bit worried Thor's gonna bust up into space and start hitting shit with lightning, but you know what? We're non-conductive, so it doesn't matter anyways. Finish, take it away from me. Alright, so now we will be playing Comrade Wiggles, spelling incorrect more than likely. Either way, how often do you spell the word comrade? I don't know. I don't do it very often. Either way, let's just say that it didn't fit inside the text box and it's not my fault. There. New campaign mode. Alright, so difficulty level is normal, sure. Why not?
It should be noted that currently we use computer-synthesized voices for the main cast.
We plan to replace them with real voice work at some point in the near future.
If you don't like these voices, you can disable them now or at any time in the sound options menu.
I don't think I'm going to go with that. I think I'm just going to voice act it all myself. That sounds way more fun. And so I'm just going to make up voices for each one of these guys. I vaguely remember what they sounded like in the first game, but it's been a while. I may just run with it. Expect Doug voice. Element 126, resin. Res was the answer to everything, a transmutable element with the power to unlock the secrets of the universe. It gifted humanity everything there was to know about space-time and how to enslave it. Res triggered an explosion of technological advancement. Mankind spread to the far reaches of the galaxy, growing exponentially in numbers along with the reliance on Res. The United Terran Alliance was founded to control the countless population. Eventually, they sought to ration the use of Res. As Res supplies thinned, conflict arose. An epidemic of fortune-seeking miners forced their way to the Galactic core, where resin was most abundant. Eventually, the primary Res source was discovered. All Res stemmed from a sinister and timeless energy being, a being awakened by the use of Res. They had sprung an ancient and recursive trap, Res being the bait no budding civilization could possibly ignore. Corruption spilled outwards into the stars, twisting the biological matrix of all it touched, integrating it into machines. Mankind's own technology, their own dead, had begun to turn against them. For years they struggled to survive against a flood of abominated metal and flesh. Billions were lost to the infection, only further feeding the expanding corruption. In spite of hopeless obliteration, the very fabric of life itself arose to fight the dark entity. As a race, humanity came together for a single purpose. In some twisted way, they had found peace. Peace, however, does not last. People fell back into their self-minded ways. Humanity turned inwards in a scramble for the remaining Res, which now could no longer be renewed. As the Utea lost its control over the galaxy, they collapsed the entire Warp Gate network, beyond any hope of salvage. Human ingenuity, it turns out, knows no captivity. Out of need, a resin-based drive was developed, allowing more direct travel anywhere in the galaxy. The Void was reborn as a wild, untapped, and lawless frontier. As years pass, piracy and skirmish battles rage. Precious res, the prize. Raw worlds are recklessly colonized and disputed by legions of makeshift starships. An entire ecology of nomadic drifters emerged, endlessly recycling the wrecks of constant war. All the while, the nearly forgotten saviors of the galaxy tirelessly struggled to exterminate the last remnants of the infection. Oh wow, that looks pretty baller. This is no joke. Ugh. It seems like yet again you dimwits have flown my ship headlong into an infested region. It's the third time this week. 6 million forms of communication, and I'm yet to find one that can articulate how moronic you fools actually are. Computer, power up the weapons and shield emitters. The doctor's in. Yeah, infested areas. Let's do this thing. And so we fly around using WASP. They're shooting missiles at us, but to no avail. Obviously, we are unaffected by such struggles. These are zombie ships. They're full of cuddles and snuggles and all the sorts of things you would expect to be inside of zombie ships. We can aim at things. We can shoot at things. Oh, a super kill. 399 points. That's right. This is a score-based game. We're going to be going for score attack this entire time. They've redone it as an arcade game, and that's all there is to it. You can't even play the normal game version anymore. There's no sandbox. We just fly around earning points for murdering starfighters. Yep, and I'm totally being facetious right now. I crashed into a meteorite. It was my bad. Oh, there's a big ship over there. Let's blow that one up. That one looked at me wrong. It gotta go. Boost the engines. Make them go faster. Step down upon the proverbial pedal. I don't know if our ship has a pedal. I figure it probably has a stick of some kind. Like a thing that we can just be like, forward, and then just push it like Star Trek style. I don't know. Who's our Geordie LaForge? Is it me right now? Oh, mega kill. That's what I like to hear. Dude, I'm going sideways on you aliens right now. How do you feel about this? You want to write home about it? I will provide you with stationery as your final wish before you blow up and are vacuumed into the vacuum of space. There, hoovered into the vacuum of space. That sounds better. Before you get hoovered into the vacuum of space. I'm going to stick with that one. It sounds the most poetic to me. Ew. I just crashed into a blood sack. Gross. Why is our ship bleeding? Dear God. Apparently, we have come up with some sinister methods to propel our ships. Oh, and it would appear as though we have died horribly.
Game over.
Ugh, by the void! Level 13 is truly the bane of my existence. Carl, seriously? Do you realize crew members suffocated on the lower decks because you routed power from life support to play stupid video games? Silence, imbecile! They gave their lives for the greater good. A scientific mind must stay active or it would wither and wrinkle. I'll boil any ocean. I'll irradiate a whole litter of Narlakian pups. I'll divide by 0 if I have to. I told you he would cause trouble if you leave him to his own whims. Those implants can really make a man sick in the melon. Elsa, he's a liability if we keep him on board. Please refrain from sneaking up on another living creature like that. Do you not realize the horror people have to endure every time they look at your face? You were fortunate I didn't inadvertently dismember you in a panic-induced frenzy. Everyone, shut up. To the bridge right now. Anybody not here in 30 seconds is getting vented into space. I gotta close the dialogue window. Well, I'm glad to see everybody was able to get up at the crack of noon to work towards sustaining our survival. Let me present you to the garbage dump we'll be sifting through this afternoon. Yes, most of this is useless junk, and yes, this is utterly pathetic, but what choice do we have? This ain't no way to treat this here metal mother. This lady deserves better. I'm gonna be snapping on something fresh. He might not be the best candidate to operate the tractor prototype. Keep in mind that Carl built this thing, so it goes without saying it is dangerous. I would hate to have to come all this way just to have Mackenzie rip us apart like a rabid chimp with Carl's untested toys. You know how those two can be. I don't really care who does what, but we need to jump on this opportunity to expand the mothership. That core module will give us some elbow room, while those wings will give us some much-needed firepower. Let's get those modules fitted so we don't have to listen to each other breathe anymore. I mean, we can fix that. It might require a little violence, but you can stop the breathing. Please pay close attention to the moving picture film show. You'll be subjected to standardized testing following this demonstration. The mothership is module. Or modular. So what we can do is we can actually left control to grab things and be like, woo! Swing them around like that. Oh, yeah, that's a sexy ship right there. Show it right. And then, oh, I hit myself with my own wing. That's my bad. It's like every time I go to KFC, the exact same thing happens. So we can break things apart, and so we can like mouse over parts, and then we can hold down control. And it'll be like... And we can spit out our ship parts if that's really what you're into. I mean, it's totally up to you. And then just like that, we can grab them and put them back on a different spot. So I assume wing rotation is kind of like tire rotation on your ships. It's probably a smart idea. So wings are a sideways thingamadoobie. They're weapons platforms, and then they give you a bonus to your turning rate. The nose, I think, gives you a bonus to like your shielding or something like that. Yeah. And so you mount that on the front right there, and that's where it goes. We've got a trident on the front because obviously we are the king of the vacuous oceans of space or something. I don't know. I was trying to be metaphorical, but it sounded stupid. We've got some cores are used to expand the size of your mothership frame, and so we can make her from a skinny little lady to a big old bitch if we want to. And so there it is. She grows, and then we can slap more wings onto the sides of her too. And just like with my dainty frame, adding more wings to it makes me become more rotund, just like our ship. The metaphor works. This wang-like piece over here goes straight into the back, and then it does something. Oh yeah, what exactly do you think you're doing? Stop leaning on that overhead projecting like a crutch. This isn't some archaic top-down space shooter we're playing here. This is real brutal kitten-eating life we're talking about. Join the rest of us down here in reality. And then we can also, I want to kick that back off and play with it more. Yeah, there it is. So the engines apparently give us a bonus to thrusters, and then I think like everything. It says it's a weapons platform, so apparently you can mount weapons on everything in this game. There we go. We can change the camera mode with C. We've got the top-down mode from the previous game, which if that's what you're into, that's what you're into. Or we have a new dynamic mode where we can go in like this. Our omni-lithium capacitor is now tapped out. I've devised a method to simply eject the spent cell while fabricating a new one out of the surrounding space dust. Don't ask me how it works or why it makes sense. All that you need to know is that you will be able to fire the ship's weapons while the new cell is being installed. Oh, or unable. I'm sorry, I'm bad at reading. That's why I failed the SATs. And so there it is. We now are able to look at our ship in a different angle. I was not done with this game, so, you know, I could move on to the next thing. Why is, apparently the flag of our planet is just Earth getting fisted. I guess that's what we're into right now. Alright, let me reload my guns. We fire out our little part right there, which is up above the ship. And then it's got kind of like a Rogue Galaxy feel when you're in this mode right here. Or if you very much like the one from the previous game, you can just be like, brah. Alright, I'm bringing the weapons online, if that's even what you want to call this garbage. Let's blast open some of those containers. Maybe we can find something to eat that won't make our hair fall out. I mean, if you cook it, I don't think it's going to matter either way. I've decided that it would be best if basic resource towing was left up to the ship's computer. These items are too fragile to be handled by Neanderthals. It brought me great pain to watch you struggle with the tractor beam. Alright, and so there's pickups over there. What we can do is we can lock in on them, and we can fire missiles at them, which is pretty fun. So just in case you want to fire missiles, hooray, we have missiles. Kaboom! They should blow up in just a second. And there are all of our goodies. We should be able to go over there and just vacuum it up like in the first game if we really, really want to, but we're sort of out of range right now. And so I think if I zoom out like... there's stuff behind us too. It appears as though I may have just fired rocket launchers at... If I remember correctly in the first game, those green pods had like human beings. They were full of like frozen human beings or something. Or maybe it's just full of space turd. Who knows? I don't pay attention to anything. Gotta go over here and get these crates, and it would appear to me as though our lasers lack the range to make it all the way over there, so we might as well get closer. Our missiles, on the other hand, do an okay job, but who wants to waste missiles on picking up boxes? I mean, it is what it is. I guess we could waste ordnance on it. Oh, and there it is. We are now sucking things inside of ourselves. 25 res, the fuel of the galaxy. A little bit of scrap, so it looks like there's new materials in this game that didn't exist in the previous one. Goons were made, so there's a number of things you can have in this game. Goons are basically the guys that work on your ship. And if you don't have enough goons, things don't work very well on your ship. You can also use them as ammo for your guns. They are human beings, but they are goons that you're basically droogies that you use as trade-ins for all kinds of benefits. There's res, which was a currency in the previous game, and it looks like they've added some new stuff too in the form of scrap. Please assimilate and perform the following diagnostic tests on the kinetic shield system. Your life and my hull may depend on it. Oh good, our ship is sentient, and so now I have to worry about it making jokes about me being inside of it all the time. So shields have their own power system, but they can be boosted with a capacitor power. If shields are boosted, they take half damage and generate twice as fast, but you cannot shoot. Shields consume the capacitor while boosted, so no boosting while reloaded. Okay, so shields are charging right now. Let's test out what they were talking about. Spacebar. Oh, I can't do it till I have full shields. Okay. So that's what a boosted shield looks like right there. All modern space-capable engines come equipped with special regenerating boost capacitors. Please practice making rocket go fast now. Boosted engines make the ship go faster. It uses its own independent fuel source, which will regenerate over time. Apparently, it's that yellow bar down at the bottom, or yeah, the bottom right. I know my directions. I graduated kindergarten. Leave me alone. And so, is that what afterburners feel like? I have to say, I'm impressed. You were all able to lace this thing back together without eating each other. The only thing that remains is to test the res drive. Mackenzie, start that pre-flight procedure. From scotch and caviar to beers and tears. How is it that Jameson is the only other one with the ambition to dig us out of this dung heap? Just cook those bloody engines up and lay in a course for somewhere that isn't here, please, God. Area clear. Now we can go to the tactical map if we really, really wanted to. We can also go like slightly above our ship if we feel like it. I just wanted to ogle the afterburners a little bit better. God, our ship is so ugly. Looks like a Martian rover. Looks like the sort of things that we'd be doing like soil tests on a foreign planet with. This is not something I want to fly around the galaxy in. Oof, what an ugly piece of shit. Alright, let's be on our way. Gotta put some new paneling on this bitch. I don't know. Get some body kits or something. Put a fin on it somewhere. Welcome to the Super Ultra Star Map 9000. This holographic interface will allow you to scan all known galactic entities, plot mothership destinations, and communicate with other ships and star bases. Please practice untethered exploration now. Okay, so time moves when I move. All transportation, mining, harvesting, and communication is done via the star map. Take your time and plan your actions. Explore a new territory. Push the right mouse button to set a destination on the map, and use the mouse wheel to adjust the zoom level.
Game saved.
So is this us right here? Comrade Wiggles. Okay. And so we can go to other places if we really, really want to. There's no signal from a starbase over there. There's the Munge. And so apparently in this system... Oh, there's a bandit hive over there just in case you feel like buzzing around. There's some lore over on this side, so let's go try that out. Oh yeah, look at that. People are doing things and stuff is happening. What does this say? Now that we are finally underway, let me remind you all that you cannot simply urinate in the corner and proclaim you are the alpha meat husk. You are a minuscule fish in an otherwise colossal ocean of galactic proportions. Unless you wish to be dead before breakfast, read the advisory overlays I have painstakingly programmed for your survival. Do not just click past them and complain on the galactic forums that you didn't get the memo. Ignorance will not be excused. Read or die. I like it. I like it when developers get sassy. Oh, well, I already did this. I just wanted to go read this book over here. It felt like it was a good plan. If we tune our warp frequency just right, we can sometimes pick up residual data transmissions bouncing around the old warp network. Though the gates are smashed beyond repair, some seem to be able to hang on to these low-density data packets like a ghostly reminder of our past. Find lore to learn more about the universe itself. Every lore point you scan will give you goodies. Okay, so you've discovered a remnant of the past. Scan it to view its secrets or file it for later viewing. Let's scan and view. Bing boong! It is impossible to say for sure where the dark entity came from. Some believe it existed before time itself. Others believe it's responsible for maintaining the precarious cosmological constant through its will alone. Regardless, it is now known that the resource res stems entirely from this creature. While the entity cannot normally be physically observed, it does have a direct effect on the universe around it, flooding space with res. The function of res serves to attract technologically advanced species towards the creature, where they can then be corrupted by the dark infection. Sounds like my junior year in college. Drawn in and infected. So apparently that goes up and inside of there. Turbo Storyteller 9000 not recommended for children. So is that the one that it just did? Okay, that's the one that it just did. So I like that. We got like a little grid or something. Well, it's telling us to go explore. What is that right there? What is that thing? What does it do? So we've got engine mode. We've got res burn per second, ship size, cargo size. We've got faction info. So let's take a look at that. I like to look at things before we get started here. Apparently there's the civilian ascendancy. Agent Hoser, Brain and Jar, Dalzia the Third, Fuxor. Granny Ruiner. Jimmy's mom. Alright. Apparently, when it comes to naming, anything goes. It looks like they're attacking that base over there. Oh. Apparently, we can boost our engines. We can go conserve, we can go normal, or we can go full burn. Okay, we've also got an inventory over here. In an effort to curb interplanetary diseases, just about all of our traded goods now have to go through this hands-off filtered interface. Nobody can stab you in the back or shoot you in the face using an interface like this. Just configure the deal, and with the autoloaders, they should take care of the rest. Item supplies are on the left side, trade items are on the right side. Try to balance the deal to maximize profits. If you sell a connected ship part while buying a similar part, it will automatically swap into place. Okay, so we've got subcores. Got some things in here. We've got a meat hook. Noses are weapon platforms. Okay, so that makes sense. We've got a hairpin left that's just like chilling on that side. Looks like we got a couple of hairpin lefts. Okay, we got hairpin rights as well. I'm assuming these are equipped, given the giant glowing E that is resonating on my HUD. Let's go to the next zone. Please don't hit me with copyright strikes right now. Alright, we're mobile. If you're all thoroughly satisfied, we can finally get on with it. We still have stickies out there, not to mention a laundry list of equipment we need before we can do anything about them. Time is of the essence, and we've wasted so much of it already. As anxious as I am to find a so-called sticky, we have not encountered one for many cycles. The ship does not yet have a nacelle to stand on. A nacelle? Therefore, we need to scout more easy opportunities to exploit. I don't know anything about spaceships or the construction thereof. So it looks like we've got a place we can conceivably go right here. We can move to a starbase. This looks like a great place to call home and raise a family. Get pre-approved for mortgage financing today. Oh my god, the horrors of adult life. You must be awarded the privilege to build a starbase. Oh, okay, so there's no base actually there. They're just like, hey, maybe you should do this. Well, they said we needed space parts, so I don't know, we could go steal some res, and then maybe we could go over there, or we could do the res second. I mean, I don't really mind either way. What is this, a cloning farm? Do I get goons from there or something? I'm sure we'll figure it out. Basically, I'm just going to hit each of these and figure out what the hell they do. There's scrap over there. Let's hit the res first. While you can't find res at the local corner store anymore, there are a few special places where res does continue to grow. These rare and mysterious locations are highly sought after. Pillage what this location currently has harvested. Sure, just take the res. We're already here, why not? And so we ransacked 3 res from the location. Huzzah for us, we have 3 space bucks. Let's get some ore. I'm going to sweep around that way, and then we'll deal with it. You have discovered a remnant of the past. Let's scan and view. When humanity began colonization of the cosmos, the central government feebly attempted to maintain order across the countless worlds. As expansion continued, central government was unable to enforce any laws. Interplanetary diseases ran amok, and worlds became savage as they realized they lived in a lawless state. Nearby worlds began raiding each other for resources without any fear of legal recourse. The United Terran Alliance was founded to bring the dissident worlds into the fold and halt the interplanetary pandemics. Where a democratic government failed, a military one would succeed it. The first stage was isolation. The warp gates were temporarily shut down and encoded with access keys only the UTA controlled. This kept worlds from attacking each other while the UTA systematically set up individual government cells on each world. It's a pretty smart plan. I probably would have bungled that one. Return. Let's go get some scrap parts. Yeah. The problem with building an enormous structure that wraps around the entirety of a star is that it can make a huge mess when that star decides to have a stroke and blow up. Automated drones now comb these colossal scrap fields, collecting anything worth salvaging. Hell yeah. 400 scrap? I don't even know what it does, but I want it. I absolutely would like to have it. Oh, we got XP. See, we did a good thing and the game rewarded us. Let's go look at this wreckage. Apparently your intestines are so long, if you string them up edge to edge, you'd probably die. This here metal mother doesn't like to loot the dead, but what need do they got for their intestines? Man, he's smoking the double blunt right now. He's getting it on. So loot the wrecks of war to find various supplies. Searching a wreck takes time. You may have to search the wreck several times to get all the loot. Resource ripeness meter. Claimed resources. Okay, and then a ship threat assessment. Not everyone can be a winner. If you want to avoid joining the ever-expanding ranks of losers, you should do whatever you can to survive, and that includes looting the dead for supplies and maybe candy. Scavenge that thing. So we got what looks like maybe 30 goons and 22 res. There's only 11 goons left over there, so why bother? We have 90 goons out of 60 now, so I assume that's probably going to have some kind of ramification. This area full of orcs? That looks like an orc insignia to me from Warhammer 40k. Should I be doing this right now? It wants me to go over there, but... Ooh, there's scrap and res here. Gimme, gimme, gimme. So we got 100 scrap and 19 res. That sounds pretty good. Let's go to the next galaxy. Because we can. Because we can go that far and not have to worry about it. Well, there's the absence of a star base there. There's res and a cloning farm. How much res is over there? Let's make after it. Oh, you little prick bastards. They stole my res. Oh, I hate you so much. How do I stop them from stealing my res? Fine, I'm going to the next galaxy. I want to be here anyways. Alright, I'm calling it. We need to shift our focus back to more pressing needs. Everybody on board is expected to understand that the mothership takes priority over everything, including our very lives. To that effect, Mother needs to be fed. If we can't find what she needs, we die along with her. And if we cannot trade for what we need, we'll have to take it by force. As cruel as it is, that's life. I see fit to enlighten everyone that every action on board consumes something. Don't let these critical supplies run dry. I've gone to the effort of labeling all the viable extraction points as well as indicating when they are ready for harvest. I have also color-coded human selfishness so you are aware if any other faction claims ownership of these areas. How do you color-code selfishness? I'd assume it'd be like kind of a greenish color like envy. So find basic resource nodes. Blowing up the mothership is not advisable. Okay. So this is the threat that the ship poses. If it's lower, I assume that we're probably perfectly fine. If it's higher, that means that it's been hitting the dro and also has bigger guns than us. Huzzah. I don't know if I should murder somebody or not. He looks like he might be kind of as big as us. What is our threat? Our threat is 5. Okay, so we definitely don't want to tangle with an 8. An 8 is definitely off limits for us. It looks like there's scrap over there, but we're out of time for the day. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here at the Nerd Castle for the first episode of Space Pirates and Zombies 2. I will see you all in future episodes. I think this is going to be a fun playthrough. We'll do the story mode, and if people are still clamoring for more, we'll do a sandbox or something. For now, this is our primer to the game, and so we'll check it on out. I'll see y'all next time. Hi-do, everybody.